Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to what's likely to be the final episode of my Deep Sky Derelict series, at least for this version of the beta. The current version of the beta only lets the player explore the first 3 derelicts, and that means that since we've already explored the Absolution and the Saluteo, it's time for us to head out to the Nymph. At this point, I think we've all got a pretty good idea of how this all works. We'll just push up into the ship until we find a nice open spot, and then we'll use our scanner to identify any potential points of interest. This should do. And it looks like we need to double back real quick. You see a man glooming over a massive pile of trash. I am fed up with this junk. It stinks, it radiates, and it's killing me. What am I supposed to do with this? Well, this hardly seems like the sort of job we're needed for, but we're here at the edge of the galaxy. Why can't you just leave it here? You know, I can't. This good old pile of garbage has tracking spray marks all over it. My supervisors would eventually find out if I had just disposed of this horrible pile of junk in the first dumpster I encountered, instead of properly sealing it somewhere safe or destroying it. They would literally kill me if they found out I had done something like that. Again, I'm not really sure this is the sort of work we're looking for, but a quest is a quest. I'll find you a spot where you can dispose of your garbage. You will? Thanks. I was starting to get a little desperate. Plutonium is nothing to joke about. Okay, so aside from secret navigation information, I guess we need to keep our eye out for a proper means of trash disposal. This derelict has a surprising number of people on it. You find a group of travelers. Who goes there? A scavenger, looking for treasures. Seen any? Oh, we don't know anything about treasures. We're just travelers who are exploring these ruins. If you don't mind, we'd like to get back to it. I'm also looking for the observatory of this ship. Know anything about that? I'm afraid I can't help you. We've just arrived and we know practically nothing about this place. Okay, thanks for your help. Right. Thanks for your non-existent help. Though I suspect we will have to come back and talk to them a bit later. Oh. Exhausted. Empty inside. Everlasting crave. Feed me. Well. How can you be hungry? I am nothing but hungry. Feed you what? I'm sour and dry. Moist entrails will lubricate my machinery. After that, bring and feed me everything. Well, this is somewhat creepy, but let's keep it diplomatic. Everything? Everything! Everything it is. Well, I guess that makes it pretty obvious where we're supposed to dispose of all that garbage. So let's backtrack to the oddly upbeat garbage man. Found anything? I found a garbage-eating robot in need of lubrication. Happen to have any? Whoa, well I accidentally unloaded my cargo all over these poor fellas. They're juicy all right. The trash man eagerly hands you a set of wormling intestines. Thanks, I guess. Okay, now let's head back over to the weird garbage-craving AI. Hopefully the reward is worth all of this backtracking. Hello again. Here's a piece of fat, greasy wormling flesh. Is it okay? Give it to me! Ah, it is perfect. I am operational again. Now bring me all you have. Bring me everything. Guess we're headed back to the trash man again. The machine is now ready to eat, even your gargantuan stinking pile of garbage. That's the best news I've heard since my latest tumor was operated. Thank you so much. Finally, I can get back home to see my wife's new kids. Take this for your trouble. That's depressing. You're depressing. I will be on my way. Now, I don't actually have any idea what reward that just gave us, but I assume it was probably credits, maybe some experience points. Hopefully in the future they'll update the UI so you actually know what you just received. But for now, let's continue our exploration. Oh, but we are running a bit low on energy already, so let's go ahead and burn off a couple of energy cells real quick. And we're good to go. Though given how low we are on cells, we're probably going to have to return to the station before we can finish exploring this derelict. This looks good. We'll go ahead and tap the scan function. And that revealed a bunch of encounters. We'll check out this loot first. And that gets us a new heavy melee weapon. 11 damage, chance for extra shield damage and overload. That doesn't sound bad. Let's go ahead and check that out in our inventory real quick. Atlas currently has a level 4 melee weapon, but it doesn't have any of those special effects, and it has a lot less cards. So let's go ahead and swap them out. And now let's see if we can pick a few fights. You see wormlings munching on the stripped remains of a dead looter. One notices you and starts emanating a low-pitched hostile sound. Oh no, not wormlings. Well, this is going to be quick. We'll just go ahead and grab our grenade here and... that should theoretically kill all three of them. There we go, fight's over. And that nets us some vendor trash, an energy cell, and a level 2 weapon tool mod. Looks like more grenades. We'll go ahead and grab that, but I think we're about grenaded out, so let's move on. Heavy metal platform detecting organic trash. Prepare to clean. Whoever programmed these janitor robots gave them quite an attitude. Well, obviously we're not going to have any trouble taking down a single janitor robot either, so let's take care of that real quick. There we go. Fight's over, and we collected a whole assortment of broken janitor parts. And one more encounter on the map, so let's head over here to check it out. Your shiny stuff will be mine! Oh, yes! Well, at least it's a bit more challenging than wormlings and janitors. I'm fairly certain we can take down 2 vulture pirates without much issue. But this might actually take a couple of turns. The EMP grenade takes out half their shields. Now Naz can follow up with another area attack. We'll hit him with a homemade bomb. Oh, and that actually killed one of them already. The other one's almost dead as well. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter what attack we choose, so there we go. Good work, everyone. That got us a new shield core mod. We can always use more of those. We also picked up a few ranged weapon mods here. I don't know if either of those looks all that good, but lethal hit sounds new. I don't think we've seen that before. I assume it grants a base chance to execute your target with every hit. That does sound pretty appealing, but we're already blowing through these fights pretty quickly, so I don't think we'll bother swapping it in. Let's just push even deeper into the derelict here until we can get to another good spot to trigger a scan. And there's 3 more encounters. Let's go check those out. Unauthorized organic matter, switching to combat stance. Okay, more janitors. And once again, we'll start off with a grenade. As one of my viewers pointed out, I do think grenades might be a little overpowered right now. It's kind of my go-to move for almost every fight we get into. That takes care of one janitor. And the other one's gone into self-repair mode, which means he's just delaying the inevitable. Atlas will go ahead and clonk it on the head. And Rowan will finish it off. That gets us a tool we're not going to use. And on to the next fight. Insolent meatbags are soiling the purity of the vessel. Hey. Attitude. Alright, let's kill this thing. In fact, we might actually be able to kill it in one hit. Ooh, so close. Well, we'll hit it with massive overkill instead. Good work, Naz. That gets us another Power Glove mod, plus 5% evasion, base chance to stun. Well, again, under normal circumstances I'd probably go ahead and equip that. But we're blowing through these fights pretty quickly now. I'm actually starting to suspect that the Nymph here, because it's closer to the space station, may have been designed as a lower level challenge. The fights certainly seem a lot easier than they did on the Saluteo. Well, it's not like we really have anywhere else to go anyway, so we'll continue exploring the Nymph. But we are starting to get low on energy again, and we only have a small number of energy cells at this point. That means we're probably going to need to start thinking about going back to the space station soon, just to sell off our excess loot and restock on energy cells. Let's go ahead and do a little more exploring before we leave. We just need to make sure we keep a close eye on our energy from here on out. We're definitely not going to die in any of the fights here, but we'll still end up just as dead if our life support ends up running out. And we never did find out what we're supposed to do with the insignia of the hood. Maybe that's just unimplemented content. Okay, so it's going to take us 23 energy to get back to the exit. And this looks like another fairly easy fight. So let's take out these lizards, check out those last two encounters, and then we'll head back to the station. Uh-oh, we don't have any grenades this time. I guess we'll just have to take these guys down the old-fashioned way. Well, at least the lizard men get to die knowing that they did some minor damage to our shields. Let's see if Naz can whip something up to finish this fight for us. There we go. A homemade bomb should do the trick. And that gets us some more vendor trash and a level 1 assault ranged weapon. Nothing we can use. Moving on. Yes, time for scrap. Alright, we're up against just one vulture pirate. Well, that makes for another quick and easy fight. Let's knock this guy over and go collect that last loot node. Naz knocks him to death's door. And Atlas pushes him the rest of the way through. That gets us a level 1 light ranged weapon, nothing we can use. So we'll head back over here to check out this loot. And that gets us a little more vendor trash. We've still got some energy to spare, so let's carefully push up a little farther and send out one more scanning pulse. Oh wow, that actually uncovered a lot of potential encounters. We don't actually have enough energy to check them all out, but well, at least we can take out one more janitor on our way out. Let's see here. We'll tag this thing with a Fury Slash. And there we go. Fight's over. I'd love to push our luck and stick around a little longer, but at this point we really are. And there's another ranged weapon mod. It's not great, but it would definitely be the mod to use if I wanted to load up on concussive grenades. At any rate, I would like to stick around and push my luck, but we really can't afford to run the risk of accidentally killing our entire party, just because I got a little greedy. We'll pop back over to the station for now. That'll give us a chance to take care of our healing, sell off our excess loot, and restock on energy cells. I'll take care of all that off screen, and we'll pick up once we're ready to head back out to the Nymph. And welcome back. I just finished taking care of all the bookkeeping, and we'll be heading back out to the Nymph momentarily. We just need to take care of some inventory management real quick. We just picked up a level 3 shield core while we were at the pawn shop. It's nothing too fancy, but since we've still got some characters using level 1 shield cores, this was just a good chance for a quick and easy upgrade. The biggest change here is that we're moving that evasion-heavy shield core over onto Atlas. We also picked up an offense-focused shield core mod, and Atlas has been lagging a bit behind in the damage department, so he'll get that as well. And then we also have this heavy melee weapon mod. It grants a passive chance to stun and debuff opponents with every hit. He already has 2 weapon mods equipped, but they both focus on stagger, so we'll just pull the weaker of the 2 stagger mods off and put in the new one instead. Okay, let's get back out to the Nymph. The pawn shop only had a couple of energy cells for sale this time, but honestly, given how easy the fights have gotten, we shouldn't have any trouble finishing our exploration with what we've got. We've already revealed a bunch of encounters up in the top left corner of the derelict, but since the top right is closer, we might as well start there. We'll just push up into this area here, and once we find a good spot, we'll set off a scanning pulse. There we go. Not much to see, but let's grab this encounter real quick. Another scavenger, looking for a treasure perhaps? No need for that. This place has nothing valuable to offer. Besides, I've got more important things to do than talk with you. Go ahead and leave. Atlas, you never told me you had a brother. And he's kind of a jerk. Hello? I said leave. Alright then. I guess Atlas and his brother are a bit estranged. Let's go ahead and grab this loot instead. Looks like more vendor trash. This appears to be a dead end, so we'll start heading back towards the left now. In fact, from what I'm seeing here, I'm guessing that the entire top right corner of the ship is probably inaccessible. Looks like we encountered another solo vulture pirate. This should make for another quick and easy fight. We'll start actually, I guess Rowan will have to start off with an EMP grenade, because he didn't draw any other attack cards. But then Naz can finish things off with a bomb. That nets us a medical tool, some vendor trash, and a level 1 power glove mod, nothing we're going to use. Now let's move up to check out this second encounter. Actually, I guess it couldn't hurt to take a quick look at that new mod we picked up. Okay, Naz currently has puncture-based mods with bleeding and stun passives. And the 2 mods we currently have in our inventory both grant evasion boosts. So I guess it really comes down to whether we want to focus on offense or defense. We haven't really gotten much use out of that bleeding mod, so let's go ahead and swap that out for an evasion mod. That gives us access to a few new cards anyway. And now let's check out that encounter. Looks like a bunch of lizard men, so we'll wipe them out real quick. And Rowan remembered to bring grenades this time, so we'll start things off with a grenade, and that clears the field. That gives us all the energy cells we could ever possibly need, a new melee weapon mod, and a tech tool. Oh, and that puts us in a good position for a scan, which revealed a decent amount of content. Okay, let's push over towards the left now. Vendor trash, another level 1 weapon. We'll take them both. And a shield core. Oh, but a level 1 shield core. And a tech tool, so again, nothing we're going to use. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the top left corner now. We're already here. Oh, right, and we should probably burn off some energy cells before we get ourselves into any more fights. That's probably the most insidious thing about the game. it's easy to forget that you're still burning life support energy even when you're in a fight. Though at this point we are primarily running into fights that only last a turn or two. This janitor, for example, should be dead very quickly. And there we go. That gets us a level 1 energy blade. Next up, we've got a lone pirate. We'll just take him out real quick as well. We don't really need any fancy strategies here. Especially not when Rowan starts things off with a critical hit. Now we've got some loot to collect. There's a broken energy cell. And on to the next loot node. Just more vendor trash. We'll take it, and then we just need to check out this little area here. Might as well set off one more scan pulse. And that confirms it's empty, so now we just need to double back to this last area over here on the right. Weapons primed, imitating combat protocol. Excellent. More janitors, and these are extra broken. That takes care of one of them. And that takes care of the other. This is almost sad at this point. I hope we at least get some sort of boss fight here. Alright, let's grab this loot, then we'll check out that other encounter. Yeah, at this point I don't think the loot's really going to be of much use to us anymore. We're almost at the end of the current beta, and it's pretty clear that we're over-leveled for this particular derelict. So, let's see if we can make this relatively quick. We're up against 2 more broken janitors, nothing to worry about. We'll take the first one out with a Fury Slash. And we'll take the second one out with an explosive. There we go. That gets us, a new weapon tool. It's got some interesting cards, but it's only level 1. And of course we also get the obligatory broken janitor part, which is essentially just vendor trash once you've completed the associated mission. We still haven't found the navigation data, though. And we're running low on energy, so let's burn all of our available energy cells. I thought we had more. Well, that's fine. Like I said before, it should be more than enough. Looks like we've got a couple more loot nodes. We'll check those out. Vendor trash, medical tools, and a heavy weapon mod with a halfway decent stun chance. But I'm pretty sure the mod we already have equipped is better. And now we'll check out this other loot. Well, that pretty much eliminates our need for energy cells. We'll have more than enough to finish exploring the derelict now. We've also got a new level 1 shield core here, which I think is actually better than our last level 1 shield core. Yeah, this one just has 28 max shields and 2 self-recharge cards. But the new one has 25 max shields, 9% evasion, and a cloaking card. So let's go ahead and swap those out. And now let's explore this last little bit of the ship over here. We haven't found the navigation information yet, so it's got to be out here somewhere. And there's even more energy cells. The game is really overcompensating at this point. Nothing much. I guess what we're looking for just has to be in this last little bit over here. One last encounter. That has to be what we're looking for. As you enter the observatory hall, you see 2 persons holding guns in their hands and standing in front of a dead body. Next to them is the mainframe. It has been shot into pieces, presumably in order to prevent people from retrieving information from it. Something is not right. You! Give us the Stargazer's data and you won't end up the way this other refugee here just did. Okay, well, I guess this guy wants a fight. Stop pointing your gun at me or you'll regret it. Fool! Embrace death! I guess we failed our diplomacy check. Well, these guys do look a little tougher than usual, but definitely not as tough as an actual boss fight. Let's hit them with an area attack here. And Rowan starts us off with a massive critical. That pretty much trivializes the entire fight, so we'll just have Naz finish off one of these guys. And then Atlas can clobber the other. There we go. No loot. That's a little disappointing. And no story event. I really would have expected something to pop up after I killed the pirates. Well, let's grab these last couple of loot nodes here, and then I think we're going to need to head back over to talk to those other NPCs we met earlier. I knew they had to serve some sort of purpose, so I guess one of them is the group the pirates came from, and the other is the group the refugee came from. We'll probably try our luck with the pirates first, since they're the closer of the two groups. Nothing all that notable. And let's check out this last little nook over here. And it's empty. Looks like this one area here is inaccessible, so I guess at this point we just have to fall back and have a chat with Atlas's evil twin. We're in the home stretch, so let's go ahead and burn off a couple of energy cells and start walking. Scavenger, have you seen two of my colleagues who've gone missing a while ago? Well, there's a number of ways I could respond here, but I guess we might as well be honest. They murdered an unarmed man under your command. I won't accept that. You killed them and now you're threatening me? That's okay. I'll just have to kill you myself. Okay, I guess we're fighting. Now this should hopefully be the boss fight I've been waiting for. And I guess it technically is. The guy in the middle there must be Friedman. He has slightly higher health and shields, but otherwise I don't really see this being a very difficult fight. Naz will go ahead and toss in one of his homemade bombs. And that kills everyone but Friedman. Now Atlas will strike the killing blow. Sorry, brother. And once again, no loot. With Friedman dead, you survey the room and see a bunch of materials suitable for building. Well, that's certainly convenient. I'm guessing the refugees will be very interested in acquiring those supplies. You find a group of travelers. You realize they must have retrieved the location data from the ship's mainframe. It's you again. I was hoping to see my friend Ishmael. What's on your mind? Have you by chance seen the data taken from the derelict's mainframe? I need it. No, we need it, so that we can afford to build our own colony. A rich scavenger named Friedman was heard to be after it. We encrypted the file in order to sell it to him and sent Ishmael, one of our colonists, to negotiate with the pirates. Ishmael is dead, but so are Friedman and his thugs. Oh, poor Ishmael. Horrible tasks have been committed today, all because of this data. No doubt Friedman was looking for us, so I thank you for taking care of him. Take the data as a reward. Here, I'll remove the encryption. Friedman and his companions left all kinds of materials suitable for building a small colony. That's exactly what we need to start a new life here. Thank you again. Farewell, and good luck to you. Hey, and everyone gets a happy ending, except for Ishmael, and Friedman, and the pirates. Well, regardless of all the bodies we're leaving in our wake, we've got what we came for, so that means it's time to head back to the station and talk to the sub-governor. Hello, Scavenger. How goes your search? Just came back from the Nymph derelict with a perfectly salvaged location data. Congratulations. That data will... Oh, I guess I'm done talking. And sadly, as that abruptly aborted dialogue indicates, this pretty much brings us to the end of the current version of the beta. In the full version of the game, I'm guessing this dialogue would have unlocked the next set of more challenging derelicts for us to explore. Unfortunately, since none of that has actually been implemented yet, we're pretty much done with Deep Sky Derelicts for the time being. Of course, it's important to remember that Deep Sky Derelicts is currently under active development, and the developers actually just released a fairly ambitious roadmap showing what they have planned for the months ahead. They're planning to add new content on a monthly basis, leading up to the game's full release in April of 2018. I won't go over everything that they have planned, but suffice to say that a lot of it involves giving us more derelicts to explore, more loot to discover, more events to trigger, and more enemies to fight. Some of the more interesting content that the developers apparently have planned includes enemies that will move around the exploration map, an upgradable base for the player's scavengers, and rival scavenging teams who will presumably try to beat the player to the navigation data on each derelict. The roadmap also mentions that the player will be able to hire additional mercenaries, which may imply that the player can end up controlling more than 3 characters at a time, but I don't want to jump to any conclusions. That means that while I may be done with Deep Sky Derelicts for now, I'll definitely be revisiting it in the future, once we've got a bit more content to explore. But for now, this is RetconRaider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Deep Sky Derelicts, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website or the store page on Steam. Links are in the description.